We would tree every year to bring home planted in our garden, right at home in the story. And it has grown so much that we've realised it's more about sharing the knowledge that we have to other groups. So we work with school young kids and giving them plants, pots, compost, and seeds to plant their own seeds. So, like we might think that we might have our own in terms of what our PhDs in everything. If we have an idea, we can bring it somewhere, then it will grow. And as we talked about recently was recycling coffee cups in Mullingar, to bring it to Mullingar. I think it's a huge initiative that we need to look at, but it takes everybody to come together. And I think in numbers we're better than we are on our own, because it grows with traction if you have a wide audience. We done a thing last year, or was it last year? Water bottles. One local club came to us and said to us that they were using single-use plastic bottles, and they did a survey on 2 nights a week training and 1 night a week match. And they were coming up with thousands of plastic bottles being used every year. So we approached Westmeath County Council looking for funding to see could we get some. And thankfully, luckily enough, John Jackson, the environmental officer for Westmeath County Council, thought it was a great idea, and he went searching for funding, and he received funding of €10,000. And we were able to supply 5 clubs in Mullingar with a reusable bottle for every child in their clubs, which was over 2,500 kids got a single-use reusable plastic bottle for refill and themselves. So look, we launched it, we put it out there, and it was a huge success. And I've spoken to the 5 clubs there recently, because 3 more clubs came on board looking to join in, and the amount of waste that they have stopped using is unbelievable. So if we can come together with an idea like the water bottles, like the coffee cups, like sowing seeds, like reusing our cardboard, right, reusing stuff like that, we can make a difference. But it's a small difference, but we can make a difference. And I think we all need to come together to do that. Like, I'm only one part of Mullingar 20 towns, there's other lads out there doing bits and pieces, and we do have litter picks every day of the week, and we do go around to areas, and we are, unfortunately, litter destroyed, but I suppose that's bad habits. We've recently, in the last year, we brought TY students with us. So they see the effects of rubbish being thrown out the waste because they have to pick it up, and they're given out. And I say, well, that's just probably half of the years anyway. Do you know what I mean? So they're seeing the concept of that. And I think, we have the Gaels going to Cully and the Lynn Road. They go around there. So there is more of a drive coming towards it. And look, we've seen this with the Petty Towns competition this year in the iPod. We were 5th in Ireland, as one of the cleanest towns in the country. That's because we're all making an effort and a difference. And as I say, each shop, each business, each person, each family, each home, if we all can do a small bit, it will make a big difference for everybody. As we said, the climate, we all look at what we need to do ourselves. And as I say, but even with clothes and even with stuff like this, it's amazing what we can do, because we take it for granted. Actually, we throw it away, someone else do it, but it's wrong. And I think, classes, education, start at the bottom, work way back up, will be successful. I've also seen in Shandon, a GA club, they have a clothes collection throughout the year. They have a cabin there, and people come in and bring in their own used clothes, and it's taken away. So it's not been thrown in the bin. There's a usage for it. And I think we need to be smarter than we are, because we are smart people, but we tend to say, just throw it away. Like the reusable codes on the bottles now that the shops are doing. It's amazing how you see many lads going around with bags in the morning, going out to cash them in because they're getting money out. And it's an incentive that is probably long overdue in one sense. It's just we need to find ways that it's not taxing people, but it's giving back. I don't believe the tax is the right thing to do. I think it should have been just given people to bring it back and get something on it, because it says throw it into rubbish. But that's the other side of life. But look, guys, I said to you, look, anything Tidy Towns can do for any group. We're trying to learn ourselves, we're trying to grow ourselves. But I think we all have a chance to do more if we can come together. I'm happy to help any group. As I say, we have our lads who go around. We have local resident estates that will go around and have little collection days, and we'll go pick up the rubbish for them and we'll dispose of it. Westmeath County Council are also very, very helpful in groups that need stuff. It's just like everything else is. The list is a mile long who's looking for help, and unfortunately sometimes you can't get to everybody. But you have to keep trying. We do a lot of work with the Ukrainian pub there up in the Army Barracks. They have gatherings up there, and they're trying to adjust into our society. And they will go in and they'll clean up and they'll have gathered and then they'll ask us to come pick it up and we'll pick it up for them. And it's think like, and then turn around and say, look John, we'll help you guys, we'll go around and pick up rubbish as well. So I think it's trying to interact us all together to do the better for ourselves. It's our town, it's our homes, our gardens, we see lately people are saying, oh, the grass is not being cut like that, it looks bad. And I've had fierce debates over this, and I'm having fierce kind of funny stories of one person saying it looks nicer when it's cut, and another person, oh, it's lovely when it's leave it alone, because let nature be nature. So we've actually organised, and we've got signs printed, we should have them this week. We're going to put them up areas that are along, let's say people know more, it's for a reason, it's for biodiversity, it's for nature, and leave it be. But we have said to them, we'll footpaths, and then a metre in off the footpath, we'll cut that grass there. And we'll leave the rest from Mother Nature for a while. And then we'll cut it after a while. Instead of having lawnmowers and diesels and all that stuff being used, let it be. It might not look what someone wants it to look like, but it is a purpose. Like we all have a purpose. We all don't look the same. So let's not think of it as a bad idea, but let's think of it as, so we're putting up signs around to show people that it's not that bad if it's left alone. It's for a reason. Because there's some lovely wildflowers out there of our own that we can make it look nicer. But some people get offended, oh, you didn't cook that, you're lazy, you don't, no, it's not, no, there's a reason for it, and it's like, it's like everything else, things do overgrow, and they need to be cut back, and we'll cut back in due course. But we have such a beautiful town, our walkways, our canals, it's horrible to see the canal being the dumping ground for people, but I think Waterways Ireland are doing a relatively good job in what they can do, because it's very hard to be in the water every day, but it's human nature that you look around and you say there's no bin there, so what do? You throw it on the floor. We're trying to get people to, if you bring it with you bring it home with you, and that's the purpose of that. It's education as well for people. I'll carry a bag around and throw it over the wall. No one's looking at this, and then throw it over. It's happening. But we're thankfully we have a crew of lads that will go around and will pick up rubbish everywhere. And I think we can see it in, even for we look at the flagpole, for example. There 2 years in a row, Mullingar had huge success with the flagpole, and the town was relatively spotless every morning. And shiny, Like it was unreal the amount of work that was into it, and people in Mullingar were very helpful as well, because we were moving bins around the town and we were saying, sorry folks, and people were very helpful to us, but there was a lot of work done, and it shows that we can do it. Even in the capacity of 600,000 people in your town for a week, every morning you walk through Mullingar to the town spotless. So it just shows that, our small steps that we're all doing makes a big difference in the long run. As I say, look, Tidy Towns always believes in growing, and I think we all need to talk to each other more and share our knowledge, share our wisdom. I know Paul there is a good friend of ours. Paul and I are looking at a frog pond for the Gael School of Cullion on the Lynn Road. We're almost at the finish line of production. It's been 2 or 3 years, Paul, is it 2 years?
Yeah,
it's 2 years. We started off a small idea for the school. In the two schools, there was before the school was built, there was a frog pond there. And seemingly, as the school was built, they covered over the frog pond, and now the kids were seeing frogs come across the road, as Paul tell you, and it was tragic stories. So we'd come up with an idea, we'd put a frog pond in the school, where there's a roundabout, but we realised it might be too dangerous for kids looking in and cars travelling. So we came to the council, we went to Law Pro, local water authority programme, to see could we get funding for it, and thankfully we received 5,000 in the first year for the initiative to start the process. And this year we received 10,000 as the start the digging planting mode. So we have Westmeath County Council ourselves, Gael School of Cullion, Law Pro, Pat Levy's, Glenmore Nurseries, they're all coming together with the idea to put this in place. So on the Lynn Road, across Mushner Courts, that green space there is going to be a wetland area. So it will be huge biodiversity for Mullingar. It's the first time we've done this in Mullingar, and we're hoping to have the answer June 5th, there's a meeting on June 5th, but the deadline is we're asking the council to match funding to make it bigger and safer for everybody, so there'll be a wheelchair access in to look at it. They're hoping to put in some sort of structure that you can actually get to the water itself from this side and have a look at the water, and kids can test the water, sample the water, see the water, see the Brosna for what it is. And look, that's everybody coming together again to work together for the better of our town. but it will be lovely to see nature working at its best in that area, and it's safe for everybody. It'll be fenced off. It's one project that will be coming down the line. As I say, I like the idea of the coffee cups. I think we need to visit that strongly this year going forward. The water bottles for kids, I'd love to see kids in school getting them, because there's where they're coming in with their Lucasade bottles and all the other bottles, and they're just throwing them in the bin and everybody's picking it up. Again, it's something that we need to look at, but it's funding. The problem for a lot of stuff that we all face is, where's the money coming from? And you know, you have to research, and the paperwork side of it is crazy. And they want to know what you had for breakfast 5 years ago, and it's like, okay. And you know, we're not all, as we said, PhD, but so we have to figure this out to find ways to get funding. But there is, you know, there's funding out there, but as we say, it's research, and you really want someone full-time doing it, not the paperwork. It's crazy. So look, guys, that's my spiel. I don't want to delay you too long more, but as I say, look, I thank you for giving me the time to talk to you guys. If you ever need anything from Mullingar Library, please reach out to us. We're here, we're happy to help, and we're learning too, and we don't always get it right, but we're happy to try. Okay? And look, if you want to talk to PJ for a few minutes, our tree expert, he's more than happy to give you a spell as well. Okay, guys? Thank you.